Sarah Middleton, broker with Royal LePage Crown Realty Services, is joining us today. And Sarah, before we get into today's topic, congratulations. I saw on social media your most recent listing there went so fast on Brant Waterloo Road.
Yeah, it did. That was good. That was a real success story. My sellers, I think they're still on a high 3 days later, but that was definitely quite a night. Monday night, we had 13 showings on the property, and we ended up with 5 offers out of those 13 showings. So that is a really high percentage of offers per showing, and it really paid off.
Well, and you know, I think, and I told you when we were out there too, that back deck, that was the selling point for me. I could sit out there all day, do my work, perfect spot.
Yeah, especially this time of year and with so many people working from home right now, a shaded, covered back deck where you could sit and hang out with your laptop or with your family, it really attracted a lot of people.
Well, that's great. Good news there. So our topic today that we wanted to discuss was selling to seniors. And I thought you were the perfect person to bring in for this because you are a specialist when it comes to selling to seniors. And throughout COVID-19, when real estate was deemed an essential service, we saw a bit of a slowdown in seniors buying and selling real estate. So first of all, let's just talk about that. So what are you hearing from your clientele? Are they worried about buying or selling right now? What has changed?
Yes, certainly, especially at the beginning, end of March, beginning of April, when reality was really sinking in about the condition and the seriousness of the pandemic. Definitely started hearing from my seniors. A lot of them were telling me that they weren't sure what to do. They had some plans for the spring, but their family, of course, their children were very concerned, and everybody was really looking out for the seniors and trying to make sure they stayed safe. So that was the path that I stayed on for the spring. I let my seniors know that if they didn't have to move, if it wasn't essential or imperative, that we just hang low, stay safe, and stay in touch and check back in with each other as the circumstances progressed.
So what if someone does need to buy or sell? What if, whether it's for health reasons or maybe where they are, they're in a lease and it's up and they were planning to move. Let's say someone needs to move right now. How are you able to reassure them that it can be done safely, the buying and selling process?
Yeah, that's important, right? Because if you can't do it safely, you can't do it at all. So there's a couple of different options that you can go. If you have to sell your house and you need to do it safely, there's a few things that you could do. So if you do have the ability to move out of your house and move to where you're going, you're probably safest to move to the place that you're going to, leave your home, your current home vacant, and allow me to get in there and get it marketed and sell it without you living there. And that way you're not going to be exposed to myself, the photography team, the stager, the traffic, the realtors, the potential buyers. So that's really the safest way to do it. But it's ideal, but not everyone has that ability to have 2 places at the same time. So if that doesn't work out, then we could look at doing an exclusive listing. So that would be a listing where I'm the only realtor that is trying to sell it for a short period of time. So that way there's a lot more control. I'm in complete control of who goes into the home, what their health circumstances are, and making sure that they're properly screened and that they're qualified to be there. And it really reduces the amount of traffic in the home. So that's something we could try for a short period of time and hope to get a sale that way. And if we have to go on MLS, which is certainly an option, realtors are doing it and we're doing it very safely, then we just take a lot of precautions. We make sure that all the protocols in place and that we're following up, that it is adhered to. So that would be buyers filling out a questionnaire before they come to the home to just make sure that they haven't traveled or been exposed, and remind them to be cognizant of that. And we're also providing protective equipment for buyers and realtors that come through. So all the equipment's there at the house. We're providing the wipes and the sanitization and all that so they can follow the protocol. Nice. And then we can limit the groups of people that are coming through. So just because you're on MLS doesn't mean it has to be a circus. We don't have to have a revolving door of showings. We can control and schedule the amount of showings who comes in, no overlapping showings, just one group at a time. And we're asking those groups to be really small. So just the buyers, just Mr. and Mrs. Buyer. We're trying not to have whole families come through and children that may be tempted to touch things, and keep it limited that way, and no
Yeah.
overlapping showings.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We've been doing video and photography work for you for years. And would you say that now the videos and being able to give people a sense of what a home is like virtually is more important than ever?
100%, because the virtual tour will allow a buyer to rule out a home that may not have features that they're looking for, or may not have the floor plan that they want that's going to work for them. So that if we can reduce showings by eliminating some buyers that aren't going to buy the home anyway, then we're actually providing more safety for our sellers and also for those buyers, because everyone that's going in and out of a house, whether they're a seller or a buyer, is putting themselves at risk. So we do want to eliminate that. Virtual tours are the key component for that. We're also asking people to do their research about the house first. Drive by, make sure it's on the street that they want to live in, that it's the neighborhood they like, and come out when you're serious.
Yeah. And when we started the business, I think 7 or 8 years ago, that was actually really the main reason for starting the business. Was we always felt that video could evoke an emotion. And I always thought of it as the movie trailer to the home. So you watch the trailer, and if you want to buy the ticket, you call the agent to get inside. But really, it was to cut down on open houses and to cut down on that traffic. And so it's great to see that so many more people are starting to use those tools. Something else that we added this year as a result of the pandemic was the iGuide. And I know you've been using that on some of your listings.
I love it.
Yeah. Do you find that really helps?
I think it does, because it helps people to orient themselves in the home. So it's one thing to be able to see a picture of a living room or a dining room and think, I like that room. But for some people, it's really important, where is that room located in the house? Is that bedroom off of the kitchen, or is that bedroom at the end of a hall in a little bit more quiet area of the home? So those things really come into play. And if we can have buyers have a sense that they've actually been in the home and could feel how it would work for them, I think that's a tool that is so valuable, especially right now.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about Antrim Glen, which is this adorable little pocket of homes that I had never heard of until we started working with you. And now I know it so well. I've even been to their Christmas bazaar and bought jam, and it's full of wonderful people. So tell people about Antrim Glen and where it's located.
Yeah, so Antrim Glen is a little subdivision of homes. There's about 289 homes in Antrim Glen. It's a land lease community, so it's a little bit of a different type of home ownership, but it's a wonderful little community. So you own the house, but you don't buy the land. So that results in a lot more affordable home prices, just a different style of ownership, just like a condominium, freehold, land lease, just different type of ownership. The homes are all bungalows, so they're really great for seniors. They have full basements, they have attached garages, really nice gardens and decks, outdoor space. So for someone who doesn't want to maintain a big home and do all the work that's involved with that, but they also don't want to live in a high rise and be up in a condo where they don't have a yard or a deck or a sense of really still owning their own little home, then Antrim Glen's perfect for someone like that, because you can open your front door, step outside, and you can chat with your neighbors and do all the socializing that goes along with that.
Well, but I've always been amazed that at the size of the homes. I mean, I know that it would be downsizing if you had a multi-level home, but you're really, a lot of them, you don't give up a ton of space. They're pretty big.
Yeah, people tell me that all the time. They say this is about the size of the space that we use in the house that we're in now. So there are homes in Antrim Glen that are over 1,600, almost 1,700 square feet. That's a lot of house for two people. So you're not going to feel like you're squished into, let's face it, new condos now are about 900, 800, 900 square feet. So they're almost double the size, plus a full basement, plus a garage. So downsizing is probably not the best description for it, but We sometimes we say it's smart sizing or right sizing because you're just managing the space differently. It's all on one floor, mean floor laundry.
And I think most of the ones I've seen too have a formal dining room, which I think is really important for grandparents because if you are doing this downsizing or whatever you want to call it, you still want to be able to host Christmas or host some parties, right?
Definitely. And if you think about who's moving to Antrim Glen, people in their 60s, they're coming from homes that had traditional dining rooms and they don't necessarily want to give up their whole dining room set. You wouldn't believe how many conversations I have with people about their dining room set. It was the wedding gift. It was their parents. They've had it for 50 years. And they've how many dinners they've hosted and family get-togethers they've had with that dining room set. So for a lot of buyers that are looking for that kind of home in that age range, they don't necessarily want a full open concept house that doesn't have like a place that feels like their dining area.
Hmm. And before we go, let's talk about some of the amenities there as well, because there's a lot to do.
Yeah, there is a lot to do. People tell me that they don't know how they had time to go to work before. Now they're retired and they're busier than ever, as busy as they want to be, really. So there's tons of amenities there. Beautiful, clean, really nicely maintained amenities. You've seen how clean the pool is, the community center. There's a catering kitchen. There's shuffleboard, sauna. There's a library, pool tables. So there's a horseshoe pits outside. It's it's really active. There's always something going on at the community center.
And beautiful views from, I think it's the Sunset Lounge, it's called, or something like
Yeah, the
that.
Sundowners Lounge, you're
Right.
right. It's at the back of the community center and it faces out to the west. There's a fireplace in there, some nice club chairs. So you can sit in there and play mahjong or have your reading club meeting. It's a really nice place to just sit and watch the sunset and you're overlooking the pool.
Yeah, it is. It is a great space. So anyone who's watching, if you're a realtor or you are a senior and you're considering buying or selling, looking for something that is a little more conducive to that lifestyle, you can reach out to Sarah. Sarah, tell everyone how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, happy to. You can reach me at 519-591-7773. That's my direct phone number. You can find me at sarahmiddleton.ca. You can go to YouTube and you can type in Sarah Middleton Real Estate. You can find my YouTube channel and you can email me at sarahmiddleton@royallepage.ca.
All right, that's Sarah Middleton, broker at Royal LePage Crown Realty Services in Cambridge. Sarah, always great to talk to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.